So you got another question here. So tell us what you've learned from for completing a full season of an actual play podcast, and any tips for those starting out.
Oh, we made so many mistakes. Firstly, always use local audio. Never get like a Discord bot. It's gonna sound horrible. I promise you, it's gonna sound bad. Get like people recording locally on Audacity or whatever. Audacity's free. It's phenomenal. And just compile all that afterwards and put it together. Music is huge. Music does a ton to set the mood. Get a nice, cool intro. Those are great. Collaborate with other podcasts. Be like, hey, you want to have a little ad spot in front of ours? If we get a little ad spot in front of yours, be like, yeah, sure. Help each other out. Don't kick the ladder if you've climbed it. That's a real big thing. As for mic quality and stuff, never be doing something in the background. Try to like remove squeaky chairs. Playing with dice is horrible, because then I have to scrub, because I edit the podcast. I have to scrub through the entire thing. If I hear like a little kind of like snap or something, like, okay, which one of these bozos did that? I have to see like, oh, okay. And I have to, make it quiet. But you got to understand what you're getting into is hours of editing a week. Like it's not some small little time commitment. You're like, oh yeah, we'll do a D&D podcast. If you want it to be done well, it is a massive time sink. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and I was not prepared for that originally. And definitely learn how to use whatever audio editing software you're using, or video editing. That's incredibly important.
Do you have any tips on the actual gameplay of these as well?
Yes.
Like, did you just turn on recording and play like you normally would, or did you make decisions?
We did originally. And that sounded okay. It was a little too chaotic though. When it comes to actual plays, this is my experience, you really got to understand that there is an audience. Don't let that change how you play, but change how invested you are in the characters. Because if you put your whole self into that, right, as opposed to just viewing this as a game as much as using it as something people listen to, it'll change a lot of stuff, I think, for the better. Additionally, never be afraid to restart saying something. Like if you're talking and then you stutter, which will happen to me, or you say or a lot, don't be afraid to say, all right, guys, can we cut this out? I'd like to say that again. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. Please do that, actually. Because just the constant kind of, like what I'm doing right now, the verbal fillers, those are difficult to cut out. And if you have this constant stream of talking where you're confident in what you have to say, maybe even you have a script, totally fine. Just those really bring things together. Makes it feel a lot more polished in the long run.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a D&D YouTube stream that I watched where the DM had scripted parts, which were just, rather than a lot of DMs, myself included, when I describe something, I'm doing it off the top and I'm sort of making it up as I go along a bit. I want to say it was High Rollers, but I might be wrong. But yeah, one of them would have an actual script so when they got to the city and they wanted to describe what the city looked like, it was a script rather than them just saying it off the top. And I think from a production point of view, that's absolutely fine. If anything, it's probably better for the viewers because they get a fuller, better description. So that is definitely a good tip.